Hello, my friends, and welcome to this quick revision in your favorite subject, chemistry. Today, we are going to answer a few questions about types of ions. Before we answer those questions, allow me to give you a quick revision of what we have taken so far about this topic. Well, we started with the definition of an ion, and we said that an ion could be one atom or a group of atoms that are charged. Means that they have either positive or negative charges. Then we said that we have two types of ions. The first one is called the monoatomic, and the other one is called polyatomic. For the monoatomic ions, we said that a monoatomic ion is a normal ion. It's a normal atom, which is made up of nucleus and electronic shells, positive protons and neutral neutrons inside the nucleus, with negative electrons in the electronic shells. But this atom has either lost one or more electrons to become positive ion or cation, or has gained one or more electrons to get the negative charge and to become a negative ion, or we call it an anion. A lot of examples can be taken when we are going to answer questions here. One of these examples is the sodium ion or the calcium ion. Here the sodium lost one electron, so the number of protons inside the nucleus has become higher than the number of electrons with one, so the charge is going to be +1. While in calcium, the calcium atom lost two electrons, so that the number of protons has become higher than the number of electrons with two. That's why the charge of calcium is +2. Another example is the chlorine here. When a chlorine atom gains one electron, let's say here, and it's going to be negatively charged. Why now? Because generally the chlorine atom here, in the chlorine atom, the number of protons and the number of electrons are equal, and this atom is neutral. But when the chlorine gains one electron, the number of electrons is going to be higher than the number of protons with one, so that we are going to see that the atom has become an ion now, and it is negatively charged -1 because there is a new or extra electron. For oxygen, again, oxygen here, let's say the atomic number is 8, meaning that in the atom of oxygen there are 8 positive protons, and in the electronic shells there are 8 electrons, and the oxygen atom here is neutral. But when the oxygen atom gains here 2 electrons, the number of electrons is going to be 10, while the number of protons is going to stay the same. So the number of electrons is going to be higher than the number of protons, and now the atom has become a negative ion charged with -2, and we call it an anion. Another example here is the sulfur, which becomes sulfide. So chlorine, it becomes chloride, oxygen becomes oxide, and sulfur becomes sulfide. And we are going to talk about how to name the atoms and their ions in the next class. Now, my friends, let's talk about the polyatomic ions. A polyatomic ion is a group of atoms that are chemically bound together covalently, and they refuse to be separated ionically. For example, when we took Na2SO4 and we solved it into water, a lot of people, or let's say a lot of scientists, believe that sodium is going to go alone, sulfur is going to go alone, and oxygen is going to go alone. Here we have 2 sodium, 1 sulfur, and 4 oxygen, and that was not correct. We noticed, or they noticed, that sodium goes alone, separated as an independent monoatomic ion, which is positively charged, and we call it cation, and the SO4 stays together. And we said that a polyatomic ion is a group of atoms that refuse to be separated ionically, and they should be treated as one atom or one ion. So the SO4 here is going to be treated in the chemical reaction as one atom, as one ion, which has the charge of -2. Well, now, my friends, let's answer the questions here after we have got our revision. Well, the only question here is classify those ions, and we have this ion. This ion is called acid or azide. Some people call it acid. And one of my students in the class told me, teacher, this is a monoatomic ion. Why? Because we have 3 atoms of nitrogen. And this is not correct, my friends. We said that a monoatomic ion is one atom that either has lost or gained electrons. Here we have 3 atoms together, and they refuse to be separated ionically, and they are polyatomic. So, polyatomic ion. Acid is a polyatomic ion, but is it a cation or an anion? What is a cation? A cation is positively charged ion, and an anion is a negatively charged ion, and acid is an anion. The other one is called hydrophosphate, and first of all, is it monoatomic ion? No, it is polyatomic because we have more than one atom. Is it positive or negative? Of course it's negative, and it is an anion, HpO4 -2. This should be here -2. So what about chloride here? Hydrophosphate, and this is chloride, monoatomic ion, and it is an anion, Cl -1. What about this one? OCl minus. OCl minus is a polyatomic, OCl minus. What about calcium? Calcium is monoatomic, and it's a cation, +2. This one, or this ion, is called ammonium ion, and it is not monoatomic, of course. It's polyatomic, and it's a cation, NH4 here. What about this one? It's called acetate or acetate in French, and it's a polyatomic, minus. What about the other one? The other one is bicarbonate or hydrocarbonate. It's an anion, and it's polyatomic, HCO3 minus. What about the others? We have the potassium here, which is a monoatomic, and it's a cation. Aluminum, also monoatomic. What about this one? This one is called hydroxide, and we are going to talk about their names later. OH, here, OH minus, polyatomic, anion. This one, hydrogen, plus one atom, monoatomic, positively charged means cation. This one is called, this is bicarbonate, and this is carbonate. B, because it has one hydrogen here, we don't have hydrogen, so it's carbonate. And this one is, let's write it here, CO3 minus 2. What's about this one? This one is oxide, and it's O minus 2, monoatomic, and it's an anion. And then here we have the hydride anion, because generally hydrogen can leave its electron to be a positive ion, and it could gain an electron to be negative anion. Well, that's it, my friends, for today. I hope you enjoyed this class. In the next class, we are going to carry on talking about types of ions and their names, and how we can make a chemical compound, or how can we use a positive ion with a negative ion to make a chemical compound, or what we are going to know as a chemical salt. Thank you again, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this class and you learned something new. If you don't understand some points in this class, please try to replay the video again and play some Kahoot games which are going to be related to the topic types of ions. Thank you again, my friends, and see you in the next class, and bye.